Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one and only master propaganda who loves like defender of the fatherland of it 2v2 on Crossing in the Woods. In these waterlocked areas, German forces under the command of Lattouf and BlueS here push ahead with the 16th Panzer Division tasked with seizing the crossing and pushing onwards, trying to undermine American defense in the south. It is Havoc and Jlodge here with the US 45th Division tasked with holding this particular vital crossing, no matter the cost, until Patton can bring up elements of the 1st Armoured Division. We got a double deep opening here from Havoc and Jlodge versus Grenadiers and Panzerjaeger under Lattouf and BlueS. Already here rushing for the southern point with the bike and the Panzer Pioneer, going in with their bolt action rifles and machine guns on the bike. As always, big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous and heroic support of the Propagandacast, keeps making all these videos possible, and a big thanks to people commenting and liking on the videos, really helps out a lot with the usual algorithms, and finally big thanks to Felix for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with this hard money. So, shots fired here, Pioneers encouraging Scouts and the Jeep, Grenadiers following up, MG42 there for Lattouf, and we got BlueS there, jumping into Panzerjaeger with the barricades there. It's barricades, isn't it? Or is it something else that call it? Blockade equipment. Panzer Grenadier there for Blue. West side here, Panzers and the Jeep. You got the bike hanging back here. Panzer Pioneer pushing as well with the Canard TKs. Bit of skirmish on the left side. Further south, Thrive with Scout support. Looking to further ensnare here. Blue by the western field point, east side here. Oh, in the center, the Pioneer squad sneaks up, going for the cut-off point. Devious play there by Lattouf. Getting out flanked up north. MG42 team sitting up here. Catching the Jeep here, maybe with a bit of a quick burst. At least keeping the cut-off point safe from the Americans. But the field here has been contested aggressively by Jlodge Scouts. He's also going for Armoured. Being just Lattouf and Havoc here to make their picks. West side, Havoc really driving in hard here against Blue. Almost got his bike here. They'd be very... He does get away with it. Really nice save here by Blue, actually making a curve move here, so Havoc can't needs to just pursue it in a direct line. And possibly I was just throwing off a bit. I mean, we almost got the cutoff point there, so even if they lose here, the Americans won't easily be able to benefit from it right away either. Savvy play there by Lattouf. Second MG42, I mean, got the map for it. Panzer Grenadiers there for Blue. Shooting it towards the end. Center, they're going for their cut-off point return.
Fuel point is being lost.
They're heavily damaged, keeping up the fight. Grabbing back that fuel point there. American forces got pushed off. And we got a Jeep now swing up from this angle. Aggressive Jeep play out of both Americans. Havoc's got his grenades ready. And we got engineers for Havoc's one to help repair his Jeeps. Besides, auto repairs, plus, laid on mines and the such. Cut-off point there being struck. It's only quite some hectic, I would say, fluid engagement action here so far in this map. Just, thumbs up. Always good when players actually play around the map and go for some less than just, shortest, distance between 2 points kind of tactics. Thumbs up to that. Lattouf with the Panzer Grenadier Company. Got something scheming there. Maybe some Panzer Grenadiers. I definitely could see a Nebelwerfer, though this is definitely one of those maps that screams Nebelwerfers are good on it. Again, not exactly a big map, and also a lot of bottlenecks and other features that just, cause units to more naturally just bunch up. So a Nebelwerfer rocket artillery piece is going to be pretty efficient on this map, so I'd be not surprised at all if Lattouf went for Nebelwerfer too. It's definitely going to be tough here for the allies to dodge it. But there you go. We'll get a wipe here. Yes, got the wipe here. Bit of stinging blow there to Blue. Do get Lattouf at least preventing a further breakthrough here in the west with this MG42 there. Bit risky, of course, to play the MG42 this aggressively. In fact, he's done run to the front of the engineers and the Jeep here already. At least he doesn't lose it. But, again, it does highlight, we don't necessarily see too many Valmont players, go aggressively with the MG42s like that. In this case, Lattouf at least avoided the ultimate loss, which of course would have been handing over to the Americans, which could have been very quickly GG, at least close to that. Panzer Grenadiers for Lattouf, Mechanized supporting for Jlodge. Got regular Panzer Grenadiers here for Blue. A note, more actual Panzers more regularly equipped like these guys rather than these guys for most of the war. assault rifle equipped ones were typically much later into warmth before paper. And of course, there might still be having some before that, but even that been like, more like, case-on-case basis, and typically would have been like, reserved for like the more veteran and better Panzer Grenadier divisions. Mostly just like equipped with like, a light machine gun. Actually, taking 2 light machine guns for an entire squad of 10 to 12 men and such. So, little detail there. Got the soft on here for Lattouf. Fast ballons for blue. Defensive stuff there, so they can actually get the combine on and cover. Jlodge's Mechanized sports are almost done. Lattouf and Havoc continue to not pick a battle group. German force that swing through the center. Panzer is advancing with the Sturmgewehr, backed up by an MG-42 team. K troop reinforcing. Got a mortar out here for Jlodge. Forward by SG. Thumbs up to that. Certainly, actually a bit surprised when you see mortar sooner, since this map, again, the opponent goes for machine guns, and mortar is going to be a fantastic investment. I could argue be said to be a bit of slip up with Jlodge, but since he's had a lot of munitions for a while there, so I don't really feel like there's much of an actual reason not to go for it sooner. I don't know if Havoc's got that opportunity, but I do think a mortar would also make sense. Meanwhile, Lattouf for the Pack 40 here, Panzerjaeger 40, Jlodge for the riflemen, the GIs. Like filling half trick here for blue. And a mechanized support to the Havoc as well. Yeah, Germans definitely getting some good containment in there on the Americans so far. Havoc goes for Spec Ops, not too surprising. It is fairly popular for a reason, alongside Armoured. The SSF commander score's been quite good, and some of the reasons that, neat levels ago on this map, the whiz-bang is really good as well. You can catch the opponents in the correct posture. Bunkers for Lattouf, more roadblocks here out of blue. Basically fortifying the western field point aggressively. Machining Gewehr's getting set up here. The World Jlodge we've got weapons points in, we've got the BAR upgrade as well there. Kept machines there off guard. Apparently forgot about that one, so it just stops up. That seems like a mistake there by Jlodge, should be told. Grenades. Got to be put in here, chucked. Machine's being hit with the mortar. We also do have a mortar out here for Havoc. Finally. Thumbs up. There you go, machine being forced back here. Good push by the Americans. Yeah, had they, gone for mortars soon, I think they... Oh, this is also one who could have laid down. So again, I feel like they could have had those out soon. I think they've been making with the job much harder here for Lattouf to rely on these machine guns to shut down a lot of the American actions. But enough about that for now. Weapons sports for Havoc. We've got almost a wipe here on the Panzer Pioneer with the Jeep, and that's it. Blue there continues to struggle. He's suffering heavy losses here. The Germans are paying a price there for the map control. El Capitan for Havoc, they're on the way. None yet for Jlodge. Mines up here, very good. Americans definitely starting to get a bit more in the midfield now. And there you go, Flak feeling half-track out here for Mr. Blue. A bazooka team as well there now for Jlodge. Perhaps might go for entertaining half-tech instead. We do get half-tech there for Havoc. We do also have the SSF commanders unlocked here for Havoc. Half-techs are there for Jlodge. They're both going to go for half-techs. The anti-tank half-techs, I imagine. There's obviously the ultra-light artillery on top of the anti-tank rockets. We're losing a fuel point. The Dull mortars are going to make things tougher there for the Germans. We do get a Leichtes Infanteriegeschütz 18, and Lattouf's Panzers, they hit the mine there, taking some nasty hits. Really risky to bunch up this close to a mortar barrage. Like, this is the kind of way where, Blue could suddenly suffer some rather aggressive losses. After I got, I'm guessing anti-tank. Oh, he's going for the M16 actually. I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick, but considering the map and its layout, the anti-tank half-track just seems like, the more natural progression there, but it's not to say it's going to be a bad pick. There we go, we do get the anti-tank half-track for Jlodge. Eight down, finally got that one at least. With the Pack 40 here. Lattouf, by the way, still hasn't picked a battle group here. He remains hesitant. We got the heavy barrels up right there for Havoc. Now the light funds with the shots of the blue scarecrow, so he's also going to go heavy on the light artillery here. There he is, getting molted. We got more up point with the BARs there. Aggressive approach here by Jlodge. Where those goddamn crowds. We got machine head getting hammered. Mortars machine getting caught up here. Mortars are getting brought to the scene again. There's a lot going on here. There's a bit in the south as well, though. Not too much, though. Havoc's. Well, it's certainly not going to go for a SSF commander squad anytime soon. Alright, benefit from one. As for Lattouf, at this point, it's going to be either mechanized or breakthrough thing in most cases. I mean, there's still the opportunity he might go for the roof after. Never say never after all. It's also so heavy. Machine gun nest here may not be done in time. Really good push here by Blue. Very good double entry guns are going at it. Half track heavily damaged, might lose it. Yup, M16 couple. Good. Ding and blow there, and the bike finally has spun it up there like a little ball of fire. Machine gun is gone. Just gone there. Lattouf with the Panzer Company. Another half track for Jlodge.
Vehicle crews have been granted the means to repair in the field.
Western field point. Almost at the 250 to get some German troop in here covering it. Grenadiers and Panzer didn't hear that.
Time to harass some crowds, boys. Think they know we're here.
Second half track close being done there.
Rifles losing integrity.
A bit of mortar fire there as well. There we go, machine getting hit with both mortars and tank half track bombarding over. Almost had it though, had the bombardment joining from the half track. I think he actually could have wiped it there. Actually felt like it might have been overkill, but it's in his army. There is no such thing as overkill.
Half track deploying, as ordered.
There you go, fresh half track up for Jlodge. Will it be an entertaining half track or something else? Good shot there from the Pack 40. Nice and nestled up there in the ridge. Blasting back that half track. 116 versus 4-4. In the west we finally got here, Blue waking up and launching a counterattack as Havoc's no route for there is absolutely no match for that many Germans with that guns. Another fighting position there. Fighting position being ducked there for Jlodge. Lattouf still no comfortable for a battle group. Blue with a Panzer Commando, and we got Starstorm for Lattouf. Thumbs up. Also got some SSF commanders out here for Havoc with the Johnsons and the bazookas.
Captured a victory point.
Bombardment there, Starstorm almost done.
We must take it back.
116 with 394.
Heavy activity near our munitions point.
West side of your half track slightly putting back. We got the machine gun nest there.
We must
And
act.
getting ready here for Jlodge again, second round here. Grenades being chucked.
Been overrun. It's theirs now.
More grenades, and there you go. Machine gun nest this time is actually ready. Large smoke shouldn't be prepared, perhaps information from the assault with some, just, you know, plan to mess with the Americans. There you go, start swimming for the outs. 116 with 390. Germans, I believe that is Lattouf still no battle group. At this point it's time to more and more, I think, like breakthrough just for the Tiger tank rather than say mechanized. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of things required up the tank. We could go for it for the best one.
Has fallen into enemy control.
West side here, Havoc. Lacking support, he is running into some encounters here with an MD. Is very much aggressively halting his advance.
Grenades are making their way to frontline forces.
Compartment there. Now the MD-34 there for Blue.
All vehicles will now have less strain on our population and upkeep.
Contact, heavy MG.
You're basically all quiet, and there you go. Lattouf does in fact go for mechanized in the
Enemy
end.
have taken territory from us.
Arcades. Buildable Panthers, I assume, and such. Another SSF command spot there for Havoc. We got the interesting altitude on the very edge of the map. The Germans doing a fairly good job at containing the Americans for now. We think there's a little bit of coordination between the Germans and the Americans as well, though that's definitely also, I think, playing a role there.
Munitions point is being attacked.
I certainly also feel like at times the Americans just seem to be, for whatever reasons, you know, pulling their punches, like not just firing everything in that machine gun, or not getting out those mortars sooner, but like, you know, they knew their plans, like, you know, going for a relatively heavy machine gun build on that like this. Got a pantry on the way there for blue, thumbs up. Look there with self-repairing light vehicles, and of course, and East side, Panzer going to start storm down. He's all moving in. The American forces counter-attacking. Anti-tank half-tank have never pulled back from that. Up north, the Russians going for the Pack 40. West side here, MD versus machine gun, right in the pin down. No artillery support here out of Havoc either. Double deal with the machine gun, flak going to be moved in. To change with the Americans once more starting to look a lot less clear, and they got the He's certainly not seeing any reason to worry about it. Almost not.
Rifleman down.
The focus on the infantry does make an awful lot of sense there. And look at it from that perspective there.
Taking losses.
Certainly doesn't help. The Americans clearly have not been having great success there in defending the field points consistently, holding them consistently. Something slowly cut down there. Machines when they've routed. Another route support here for Jlodge, put up to a total of 5. Schutzen Lattouf, thumbs up. Sturmpanzer. No, this is an early model Sturmpanzer. There's a later model that actually have a whole machine gun, which would actually be sort of a bull mount up around here, I believe. Right there. Schutzen.
One of our strategic points
And
is under
for the
attack.
Sturmpanzer, obviously making it tougher. 393, 380. The clock continues to tick here slowly. There you go, Panther Fleet blasting away there, sniping at some of their icons. And up north of the Sturmpanzer is ready to make contact with American lines.
A fuel point is
And
being
it sounds
seized
a
by the enemy.
bit more awkward here. And we got the obstacles there for the
Enemy
Panzer
movement near a
Company.
victory point.
Thumbs up. It's been locked as well. This one, I do expect Jlodge to probably go for the calling easy 80 here. I mean, going for the build one would obviously be the best choice long term, but with the situation as is, it may be a bit tough here for Jlodge, so I feel like you do that. Meanwhile, Havoc is taking up the tank depot. Thumbs up, about time. And taking up from the next. That's really exactly exposed to a Pack 40. Rather than grenade on instead. Bigger threat. In the end, though, the 2 feet does successfully defend the point, at least for now, but do get some artillery fire. Mortar could deploy some smoke here. Just around, since he's got airburst and machine gun. Not a bad idea. There we go, another Panzer 3 for blue. Summoning the mighty Panzer Convergence.
A victory point is under attack. We must act. Defend our victory point.
This is Commander's rush in the center here.
Victory
Rushing
point
to
now under enemy
defend.
control.
Machine gun is getting blasted, rifle getting smashed there. I need to get some action in the wet east soon. MX men lining up for another push, Pack 4D. Number 2 there for Lattouf, almost done. We got the Panther Fleet almost done as well there for blue. And there you go, machine gun is downed. Supply drop for Havoc, no anti-tank guns, some anti-tank guns plus machine gun. Jlodge slowly inching towards his Sherman EC8, his Brad Pitt. German supplying smoke screens. Mostly advancing the American German force ready with machine guns. Mortars not quite, I think, facilities to deal with that. Again.
They have taken our victory point.
Stay down.
For a smoke screen here at least. One there. Nice for that. Then Cub and the captain. Center German force moving the advance here at the west side. American force there being held up in the fleet, so Havoc has finally got the Entertainer there. And with the fuel here, should also be able to push out some armor in the relatively near future. It's looking more and more awkward here for the Americans. Their offensive seems to have a lot of floundered. It seems to have lost most of the momentum. I mean, they're staying relatively close in terms of casualties and victory points, but if you look at the map control, it does tell a bit of a different story, unfortunately for them. Got a machine gun there now. That's definitely a crucial moment there. It would have been great for them to have done this sooner, but better late than never. Grabbing victory point as well. The eastern front has finally been broken open here once more. Got the Entertainer over to the blue. No big surprise there. Just an incredibly good anti-tank ability. Entries west of us, the machine guns. Gonna blast those into bits. Grabbing some fuel. Mishtasum is the rifleman here. 319 versus 366. Panzerjaeger withdrawing. Got the whiz bang for Havoc. Very much anticipated. As for Jlodge, he is, I imagine, still going for his little quest there for the Sherman EC8.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
But originally he went for the cheaper, manpower, or the manpower reduction. If he's going to call those in, is going to benefit from it. It's like going to delay his EC8, so that's going to command points are always going towards the Sherman EC8. Got the Bazooka teams here for Jlodge. On themselves for blue as it brings in the power of the Cheetah. And there we go. Got the whiz bang for Havoc. Aggressive rocket artillery here. Taking until the up to mid-range one of Jlodge's Raptor squads. In the centre there, Panzerjaeger, the SS commandos, whiz bang slowly into the front line there. Got the SS commandos that forced to withdraw. Very consistent use of smoke there by blue as well. They're making it much harder for Jlodge to run any weapons like with a longer range, like the extended halfback. So thumbs up to that there. That's actually some pretty smart tactical play there. There you go, whiz bang like news. Machine gun there getting hammered. Lattouf narrowly was getting this machine gun team here. American forces sweeping out here as the German lines are breaking. He's ending after that barrage, but can the Americans turn this into an actual break? Can they make some actual gains here? We'll have to see. Mortars need to be brought to the front line where possible. Smoke screens should be deployed. So at least, make it harder for the Germans to counter. And we got the best part here for Lattouf to provide military support. Thumbs up.
We're down to 250.
249. Big old Panzerjaeger blob. Sweeping in there. The centre, mortally fired there as well from the lighters infantry Geschütze. Jlodge's quest for rapid continues. Two teams are out at Panzerjaeger swinging in. Diverting the commanders to try and flank behind the Germans here. Do some damage. Will it work out? We'll have to see the Bazooka team about to find there. Go double half-tank barrage. Doesn't save it, but allows you some damage inwards. Maybe the commanders can finish off here. Maybe. Almost causing the commanders to run the process. Really close call there. Almost got a Panzer as well. And the Vespa is rushing in there, but thankfully for Lattouf, there's no way to punish him because all the Americans are always running away. Got another whiz bang barrage here. Just firing everything he's got there. Rapid repairs for Jlodge.
Enemy infantry.
236. Again, a bit of action left side. I mean, they're really, playing along a much narrower front in the sense that he's up in their heads, I'd say.
Repair techniques are in. You're on victory point.
Plus, and they're probably going to be gone before they get utterly annihilated. At least I suppose you can try and get merged here. There we go.
Victory point is under enemy control now.
Good hits from the interesting half tipped in the fair bit against the Sturmpanzer. It's definitely a pretty good investment here for Lattouf on this map for, you know, many aforementioned reasons, but again, not a lot of armor, and crucially, a lot of squishy targets. They're going to be bunched up due to, again, the very bottleneck nature of this map.
Our opponent has all victory points under their control. Act
Go to
now.
5-16-66.
200 points remaining on the front line.
Gap is actually growing a lot of respect here. The Americans seem like they have kind of lost the grip on the maps now. Which is obviously great for the Germans. For the Americans, does pose a problem if Patton finds out.
Pass out the kit. Upgrades in. Engineers here.
3 USF commando squads out there for Havoc. Looks like the Americans are going to swing westwards here, though. It appears like they're doing it in a bit of an awkwardly disjointed manner, which means, of course, less effect. Also, this gives away better to the Germans.
Half track is scrapped.
This makes everything a bit more of a mess.
The sector's been overrun. It's
That's
theirs
definitely
now.
great for the Germans, unless they like just mishandle the response and just panic. 151 to 66. Got the Bazooka upgrade almost on there for Havoc. I mean, same with 3 SF for benefit. Wizards bang flying away there. I think of the light infantry guns here, the light is close to the goods. To silence those German guns.
One of our sectors is now in enemy
There we
hands.
go. Almost had them all. There's one crew that was saved thanks to the heroic sacrifice of the trees.
Don't let them outflank us.
The trees setting out. Blue pretty close to the Tiger tank. Certainly spell a lot of trouble here for the Americans. Jlodge with the tank depot, so he's going to go for the billable EC8 rather than the Collins after all.
We're losing it.
Drop 42.
Got the pen from Lattouf just in case. There you go, Commander's Wing 40. Blasting the Panzers there. There's still a machine gun team here that needs to be dealt with. But, you know, just risk the entire forces are being pushed back. They are starting to run low on victory points, so the Americans really need to pick up the pace here. Panthers almost done as well here. And we have the Tiger tank out. This is honestly looking a bit like GG. For the Americans, the Germans have struck. They've struck quite decisively inconsistent. From there, running straight into the Tiger tank. Commanders were getting ready to ambush it. Almost the rockets on the missed have failed to penetrate.
100 points remaining.
Very lucky there for BlueS Tiger.
Our barracks is under attack.
To get the pension of the white, and there you go, GG, game over. A loss for the Americans, a victory for the Germans. I definitely feel like there were some key elements there, but like initially they were quite fluid. I think, you know, quite, you know, able to like dodge around the Germans, run around the corners with them. But after a certain point, the tactics became a lot more linear, a lot more predictable. And there's also the matter of just the mortars. I think, you know, could have been head out much sooner, and I think they're much better just countering, you know, the German early machine gun. I think they've done that. That helped. There was also just, again, that, for example, the case again with the other machine gun that could have been wiped, I think, pretty easily and secured. So I think there were some issues there with how the Americans at times leveraged the equipment, but also they tended to play in pretty predictable patterns, making it much easier for the Germans to bottle them up in a very efficient manner. So I think they need to also just try and look for like some different ways to approach this. Or again, just using smoke more actively. Comparatively, again, Blue there was quite good using the smoke to just mess up with the Americans and make the defenses much tougher to work. So that is worth keeping in mind as well. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. This is Imperial Team. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye, everyone.